Yahushai wait, come to take the throne. To conquer world powers, bring Jacob home. I'm quarterbacking like Jake DeLone. Like Mount Rushmore, I got a face of stone.
Now, today, I'm gonna go into Hosea, the 13th chapter and the 9th verse, because every time I come out here and see my people like this is the only verse that comes to my mind, man. Because we've destroyed our people as a nation. We continue to perpetuate that destruction and learn to love it. That's what Jake does. We learn to love being in a lower state. We learn to love being stuck on oppression. But one day, there's going to come a time to where Christ is going to come back and he's going to kill you if you're not serving Yahweh, man. If you're not serving him in the spirit and in truth, he's going to kill you. If you love being a nigga in America, you're going to die, man. That's right. Unless you repent. Go ahead and get this.
Listen up, Israel. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 13 and verse 9. O Israel, thou hast destroyed thyself.
The what?
Destroyed thyself.
You did what?
Thou hast destroyed thyself.
Yeah.
But in me is thine help.
So in Yahweh is our help. Because we are people in need of help, man. If you look at the conditions of our neighborhoods, man. We'll have a whole bunch of closed down businesses, but the one business that's open is a liquor store. So we can continue to get drunk. And matter of fact, give me Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31, where it talks about give me strong drink. Go ahead and find that for me real fast. Where it talks about for them ready to perish. Because we'll have everything closed down up here except the liquor store. The liquor store will be open with a revolving door, man. So we continue to drink and forget our miseries, bro. Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. Everything else. Is it 31-4? Let me see. No, not that one. Forget the love birthday. 6. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 6. Yeah. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
And our people, say where you at. Our people have heavy hearts, man. Because you see our people getting shot. We see each other hating each other. The only type of healing we think we have is a Christian church. We see a whole bunch of corruption in there. They're taking your money. Pastors rolling up in a Bentley, but you have to catch a bus to get to his church. Right. And inside of there, you have people holding grudges, stealing people's wives, adultery happening rampant. People saying they're catching the Holy Ghost, and they're running up and down the pews. Why would God want you to do that? Let's just think about that before I continue into this lesson. Why would God want you to have an epileptic seizure only in one place on one day of the week?
Teach up.
What does that do, bro?
Teach up.
How does that benefit you?
Teach up.
Our people is foolish. It's foolish. So we don't have nothing to help us in captivity. We continue to drink alcohol and continue to forget about our miseries, bro. Because we learn to love it. Nobody else is going to save us, so hell, we might as well just give up. That's Jake's mentality. That's why I love Christianity so much, because Christianity says, hey, I'm a sinner, I'm going to keep on sinning, but Christ died for me. It's a defeatist mentality. And Jake has always had a defeatist mentality because they don't think about who they are. We're going to get into that later. Go ahead.
Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more.
And that's what they do. They use alcohol to basically as a suppressant to suppress the evil and wickedness that comes to that we have to deal with throughout the day, man. You have the so-called black man getting his ass beat by his boss every damn day. Then he has to come home to his wife, who's probably a loudmouth.
That's right.
Like the Bible says our women would always be.
That's right.
Our children are monsters, like the scriptures say they would be.
That's right.
And you have the so-called black man has no peace, or the black, Hispanic, and Native American man, Salak, has no peace in America, man. Through the stuff we have to deal with, through our affliction, through our captivity, man.
That's right.
So we continue to drink alcohol to forget about the situation, just to wake up and do the same damn thing again, until we get old and die. Probably from liquor, like stuff that hurts your liver from drinking so much alcohol. Then you die because of that. Then you come back again and do the same damn thing. That's what Jake does. We don't try to look at no type of examples to help us. We won't see our parents going through alcoholism and trying to change. They end up doing the same damn thing. That's why we need help from the Most High God. We're people, the black, Hispanic, and Native American man is in need of help. And let's look when the Most High God helps us.
This is Judith 5 and 17. The world they sin not before their God.
When they did what?
whilst they sin not before their God.
Everybody read this.
And whilst they sin not before their God.
When we sin not before our God, when we decide to actually listen to God, the one thing He told us to do is to keep His law, statutes, and commandments, and have faith in His Son. If we actually do that, when we did that, what happened?
They prospered.
We did what?
They prospered.
Now, if you look at our situation, does it look like we're prospering? Is this a prosperous people? This is not a prosperous people, bro. We have trash littered everywhere. Most of which is alcohol bottles. That just shows you how dilapidated our nation is and how we're living in America, bro. This is the people who need help. These are people who need the scriptures. We're the only people who need to be saved, man. The so-called white man doesn't need to be saved. He's got a whole nation. The damn Chinese man don't need to get saved. The Japanese man, the East Indian doesn't have to get saved. Or they just come over here and automatically have a 7-Eleven, bro. Like it's almost automatic. Like you come over here, they have to. What do they got to do to get over? They got to learn the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. As soon as they come over here, here's your keys to your 7-Eleven. Pass it down to your children and have generational wealth. But our people have been there forever, and we know that we have none of that, bro. We have people who we have parents who are still renting homes in their 80s, bro, and have nothing to pass to their children. But every other nation of people continue to have generational wealth. Only been here for a week. Only been here for a week, but has income that'll last as long as they want it to, bro. Go ahead and keep going.
They prospered because the God that hated iniquity was with them.
God was with us when we prospered, when we sinned not before Him. Before we actually kept the laws, the same thing the Christian church tells you not to do. Go ahead.
But when they departed from the way which He appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles.
They were what?
They were destroyed in many battles.
Now we see that applicable to our situation now. When we try to rise up at all, what happens? We get destroyed. We have Black Wall Street, what happened? It got destroyed. Any type of resolution, every type of revolution we try to have gets destroyed because it's not on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. If you're not going through Christ and through Yahweh, whatever you try to decide to do is going to come to naught. It's going to come to naught. Every single thing. That's why, what did they say in Acts? What did they say in Acts? Where it said, let these men alone. If it doesn't be a God, it's going to come to naught. but if it be of God, can't nobody overthrow it. So if we actually follow the Most High God, actually listen to what He says, the one thing He told us to do, to keep the law, statutes, commandments, we will prosper. Go ahead.
They were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
And did what?
Were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
And that's America. We see that, and we see that in America. We're led captives and still captives in a land where we did not. What did he say? What did he say? Okay, cool. We're led captive in a land that's not ours. America is not ours. No matter how many so-called businesses that we have, America is not ours, and it never will be. Because the same people running it, the same people who had us in captivity, the same people who continue to put us in captivity and let that cycle keep going on and on forever, right? Because what they passed? The 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment says slavery is abolished unless you were incarcerated by a crime. Now, what happened shortly after that? You got the black codes. You got the Jim Crow laws. You had stuff. You had them arresting us for loitering, right? Now, loitering. Now, you just had a whole bunch of slaves that just got let off the plantation, who y'all aren't gonna hire for wages, and they got nowhere to go. And say we're loitering, and then arrest us and put us back on the plantations. That's what the so-called white man does. And he continues to perpetuate that now. Because that's why when they kill us, the first thing they do is try to blast all of our, find all of our old Facebook pictures where we was foolish and like look like we were in a gang or did something like that. And they do the smallest little things to make killing us justified. That's what the so-called white man does, and he will continue to do that as long as he's in power. So this isn't our rest. This isn't our land, and it never will be. That's why the Most High God needs to destroy this place.
And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemy.
Taken by what?
The enemy.
Now, who possesses our land right now? The so-called white man. You got Amalek, right? The fake Jews. Now they're over there giving oral circumcision to their children and calling themselves God's chosen people. But we think we're niggas, bro. We think we're niggas, bro. Give me Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2. That's why it continues to happen. We think we're niggas. We think we're nothing. but we don't consider that the Most High God has separated us and exalted us. Go ahead and read this.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 2. Hear, all heavens, and give ear, all earth, for the Lord has spoken.
Who's spoken?
The Lord has spoken.
Context, the Lord has spoken. Yahweh has spoken. Go ahead.
I have nourished and brought up children.
It says nourished and brought up children, right? It says nourished and brought up. We look at the word for the Hebrew word for brought up right there. It means to exalt. Exalt above everybody else. Who did the Most High God exalt? The Israelites. He exalted us, like it says in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, verse 6, man. We're above all nations. He nourished us. He brought us up. We're not just niggas. We're not just spicks. We're not just Uncle Tomahawks. The Most High God exalted us. I think they got it, though. I mean, you already crossed. You already crossed. I'm just saying, man. All right, let's hold it. You got a whole fistful of precepts.
Okay. Go back to the
I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
What do we do?
They have rebelled against me.
We have rebelled against the Most High God. Why do we rebel against him? Because we don't keep his law. We didn't do it. Right after he led us out of Egypt, what did we start doing? Worshiping a golden calf. Start breaking all the damn laws, man. It seemed like when Moses came down, I think it says in Exodus, when Moses was coming down, it sounded like there was a war going on down there. But it was us celebrating the damn golden calf and worshiping that. Right after we saw the Most High God bring us out of Egypt. Right after we walked through the damn the Red Sea and stuff like that. After we saw the Most High God smite these people, we immediately turned away. That's us rebelling. What you got it? Go ahead.
This is Exodus 32, verse 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. Corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them.
They did what?
They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them.
So as soon as you got out of Egypt, the first thing you do is turn away from the Most High God. The same power who you saw destroy the firstborn of everything in Egypt. You saw that. There wasn't no few of us seen it. Everybody seen it. You all seen it. But the first thing you did was turn away quickly. And our people do that now. They'll come up here and hear the law, statutes, commandments, hear the Israelites, and the next thing they'll go do is go eat pork. Like this didn't happen. Like the Most High God didn't record that. He sees everything. Give me drop that. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13, right? Because I'm going to read all the way down to 14. We usually stop at 13, but we got to read the 14. This is what our people do, right? You'll have Israelites come up here, say, "Oh, I get that I'm an Israelite. Oh, I need to keep the law, statutes, commandments. Christ is black." And as soon as they walk away, they're transgressing. When you'll see them again, they never get fringes. They never take hold to anything. They turn away quickly from this word because it's not for everybody. Go ahead.
It's Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. And this is the whole duty of man.
This is the what?
This is the whole duty of man.
This is the whole duty of man. This is your only job. Like I said before, you only have one job, and it's to keep the law, statutes, commandments. And to be honest, it's really not even that difficult, bro. You have to either want to love God or you don't. That's why it says the love of God is keeping the commandments, and commandments are grievous to those who love the Lord. Because you either want to love him or you don't. You either want to be a nigga or you actually want to be an Israelite and be saved.
For God shall bring every work into judgment.
Do what?
Bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So if you want to decide to just say, "Oh, I'm gonna be righteous in front of Israelites, but then walk away and be evil," the Most High God is going to see that. He's going to get you. That's what our people do. People don't understand. Like we're serious up here. This is something that's serious. Like going up and walking contrary to the Lord is the whole reason we got put up here. We got put in captivity in America. The whole reason we got put on slave ships. So we're not playing up here. We're not just joking around. This is something serious. Ain't Christian church, bro.
It's Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
And that's why sometimes, I'm going to say it like this, but I'm going to say it quite frank. Sometimes grace ain't for everybody. Because niggas is outright just abusing the hell out of grace. Like, y'all don't understand. Yeah, like, people don't understand, bro. They're out here abusing grace. Just because the Most High God ain't getting you for taking somebody's wife right now, doesn't mean he's not going to get you. Just because he's not getting you for eating pork, does not mean he's not going to get you. He's going to bring every work. Every work. The one said every right there. Every work, whether it be hidden, whether it be out and open, whether it be good or bad. Most High God's going to get you. That's it on that. Hold on. Go back to Isaiah real fast. I want to say something on that one. Isaiah 1 and 3. You still there?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel,
What?
but Israel, do it not know. My people do it not consider.
And that's our people right now, man. We don't know and we don't consider. We don't consider that we are the people that God exalted. We don't consider that the Most High God is real and He showed Himself to be real. Give me Baruch chapter 2 verse 1. When He showed Himself to be real when He put us on slave ships, man. We know God is real. As soon as, as a matter of fact, our people knew God was real when He put us on slave ships. Like, damn, man, He's actually serious. He really about to put me on a slave ship. He really about to have somebody take my wife. He really about to have me put in cages. Like even with the Hispanic tribes, they're getting put in cages. We're gonna build up a house and we're not gonna dwell in it. We're gonna build up a field and not reap the benefits of it. Man, Deuteronomy 28 is really about to happen to us. The Most High God made sure that we knew He was real when they brought down the curses on us. Go ahead, get that. 2 and 1.
The book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 1. Therefore, the Lord had made good His word, which He pronounced against us.
He did what?
The Lord had made good with His word.
The Lord made good on His word. He said in Deuteronomy the 20th chapter and Leviticus 26. I don't know if everybody knows about that, but Leviticus 26 has the curse in it too. But Deuteronomy 28 verse 16 all the way to 68. It has all the curses. He made good on this word. He told us this will happen if we depart from it. This how, and people ask, how do y'all know that book's real? How do you know God's real? We know God's real because He said we're going to go on slave ships and it happened. Go ahead.
Which He pronounced against us and against our judges that judged Israel, and against our kings and against our princes and against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring upon us great plagues such as never happened under the whole heaven.
That's such a great place. It never happened under the whole heaven, but where? It's going to say Salaki.
To bring upon us great plagues such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem.
Why? Because the Most High God made a covenant with us. And He said in the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter, we're the only family that the Most High God knows, so He's going to judge us for all iniquities. That's why the plagues haven't been seen anywhere else. That's why we are the ones getting judged. That's why the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the only people dealing with the curses. Because we made the covenant with them. When Moses sprinkled the blood upon us and the blood upon the book, and we said we're going to do everything in this book, we were those people. We said we would do that, and we decided not to. We turned quickly aside like it says in Exodus. So what happens? We went on slave ships. Our wives got took from us. We don't get to enjoy our kids because they're going to go in captivity, man. All the curses that was written in Moses will happen to us, and it says in that verse too.
According to the things that were written in the law of Moses.
And what?
In the law of Moses.
Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. He made good upon His word. We've seen it. That's how we know God is real. So hey, let's go into this real quick.
Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction,
and we are dealing with the water of affliction and bread of adversity, that's captivity. Go ahead.
yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
So your teachers are going to be removed into a corner anymore. What does that mean? You're going to see your teachers. You're going to see the people who will give you the right doctrine. Because the Christian pastors aren't going to be out here. They're going to be in their what they say that the Christian church was? You said it the other day? Like an empty box. They're going to be in an empty box with AC on, and they're going to give you lies. They're going to give you John 3:16. They might give you something in Galatians where it says the law. They think the law is done away with, and they're going to lie to you. But the people who gives you the right doctrine is going to come out here. We are the people who are going to give you the right doctrine. Because the Most High God put the Holy Spirit upon us to realize who we are, to realize we are God's chosen people. So since we realize that, we love our people, and we want y'all to wake up, man. I'm tired of seeing RIP shirts. I'm tired of seeing I Can't Breathe shirts, man. Y'all talking about y'all tired of people saying I can't breathe. Keep the commandments. That's right. Simple. If you were tired of death, give me Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1, and then jump to verse 3. Because if you were tired of gangs, if you're tired of your children rebelling against you, if you're tired of your wife rebelling against you, or vice versa, if you're tired of so-called white man beating you up, keep the commandments, bro. Because I'm tired of death. I'm tired of people dying. I'm tired of waking up every day and be like, dang, I got another day in this. I got another day where I can drive my car and get pulled over and get killed by a so-called white man. I'm tired of this. No, Isaiah.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
And that's what has to happen, because we can't live in America and prosper. We can't get mercy from the Lord in America. Because it's impossible, because the so-called white man is here, and all he wants to do is afflict us, because he has a perpetual hatred, because this dumbass he fumbled the blessing. That's what happened. The so-called white man fumbled the blessing, and now we picked it up and ran with it, bro. Picked up and ran with it. That's what's happening now. That's what's happening when you see brothers put fringes on their shirts and coming together and having beards on their faces and keeping all the commandments of the law, man. We took the blessing and ran with it. The so-called white man couldn't do nothing with righteousness. The so-called white man can never be righteous. That's why they're the most profane. Most profane mean outside the temple. There's nothing righteous about the so-called white man. But the black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are God's chosen people. The Most High God nourished us. He exalted us. We are not nothing. We are everything, man. The world was made for our sakes, like 2 Ezra chapter 6 says. The world was made for us. Everybody else is a servant. Everybody else is the lower class in the caste system. We are the apex predators of the world, man. We are kings.
Wake them
Our
up!
women are princesses. Our children are princes and princesses. We are to be the rulers of this planet. But we give that up when we decide to be niggas.
That's right.
This is conditional. God's love for us is conditional. It's based off terms and conditions, man. Yeah, give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. Go ahead.
And the strangers shall be joined with them. Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
Yeah, he's going to give us rest from our sorrow when he brings us contextually, brings us into our own land. Go ahead.
And from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
You can stop right there. It gives us rest from our hard bondage which we are to serve. When you have to go get a job to work for the oppressor, that's bondage. Because you have to work for the so-called white man, the oppressor, and he takes taxes out of it. You paying taxes in America makes you a tributary. What's a tributary? A slave. America is a corporation. And the products that they come out with is Israelite. Really, everybody, man. This is slavery. This living in America is slavery for us, bro. Because this is not what we're meant to be. We're meant to be kings. We're meant to be rulers of this place and teachers of righteousness. Now give me Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail.
So what?
And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only.
No, that's not what I want. Give me Deuteronomy 28, 15.
This is Deuteronomy 28, 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now this is going back to what I said before. Most High God's love towards us is conditional. The Most High God doesn't have unconditional love for us like that. If you break his commandments, which is his terms and conditions, the curses shall come upon us. He will pour all the curses upon us. That's why we're still stuck here in America. That's why we're still here trying to vote for a different oppressor, bro. You know how maddening and how retarded it is to try to vote for either Trump or Biden. Trump actively is against the so-called black and Hispanic man. Now Biden always says racist things. Biden always perpetually says racist things, but y'all just jump to that because why? Y'all just love the Democratic Party. And he's a pedophile. And that too. He's a pedophile as well. But he also said he don't want his children to go to a racial jungle. He don't want his children to go around black and Hispanic people. He also called us super predators right there with Hillary Clinton. But our people are so retarded that they'll vote for that man. You'll vote for somebody who said more racist stuff than the other guy, bro. If you think about it. Why? Because the Democratic Party and a so-called white man tells you to. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 2 and verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills.
To be what?
It shall be exalted above the hills.
We're going to be exalted above the hills. What does hills symbolize? Nations. We're going to be exalted above all these nations. And this is our rightful place. Us not being like, people that's like, oh, y'all are not in slavery. Yes, we are, because if we are not rulers of this nation, we are in slavery. We are not in our position. We are removed from our position. We are rulers, bro. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Shall flow unto it.
All nations are going to flow to us. Why? Go ahead.
And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of God, of Jacob.
The God of who?
The God of Jacob.
I thought he was the God of everybody. The God of who?
The God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways. And he will walk, and we will walk in his paths.
And that's what's going to happen. When we get taken from this land, when we get mercy on the Most High God and taken into our own land, we are going to be rulers. We're going to be established above everybody. We are the apex predators of the world, man. The world was made for our sakes. Now, once that happens, we will be the teachers of righteousness. Because who teaches righteousness in America? The so-called white men. That's why homosexuality is rampant. That's why they make websites like Ashley Madison, where you can cheat on your husband, where you can cheat on your husband and vice versa, bro. That's why they have things like that. That's what the so-called white man teaches. That's what they perpetuate in this hellhole. Give me Job chapter 10, verse 22. This is hell, man. This is death. This is the grave. Because when America teaches you, it teaches you to wander out of the paths of righteousness, to be in the congregation of the dead. What is the congregation of the dead? That's death. What is death? Going to the grave. And what does the grave go into? The Hebrew word Sheol, which is hell. This place is hell, bro. Go ahead. 10:22.
The book of Job, chapter 10 and verse 22. This is one thing. Therefore, I said it.
Is that 10? That's not 10.
The book of Job, chapter 10 and verse 22. A land of darkness.
What?
A land of darkness.
This place is a land of darkness, bro. Ever since we've been in America, there hasn't been no life for us. There hasn't been no life for the black and Hispanic man. There's been nothing but darkness. They teach us. I say this every time I speak. It seems like every time. What we know, since we got discontinued from our heritage, like Jeremiah says, all we know is what the so-called white man teaches us. What we know is that average nigga in America is artificial. The so-called white man created that. They complain about us killing each other. Where did we learn that from? The civil wars with America. Y'all complain about us doing drugs. Who made the damn drugs? We're not scientists. We weren't scientists back then. Hell, y'all wouldn't even let us go to good schools at that time. So how do we learn how to cook up crack? Where did we learn that from? The so-called white man. Who put guns in our neighborhoods? We don't know how to make that. Where did we get that from? Y'all created this. The so-called white man took a glass of milk and knocked it over and complained over spilled milk. Why? That's a similitude of what happened to us, man. Y'all created this. Y'all created the niggas that y'all hate. Like that's the thing, man. Why? And why do y'all do that? Because y'all are the epitome of darkness. Y'all are the children of the one Hashatan, man. The so-called white man is the children of the one Hashatan, the border of wickedness. And what is that? Darkness. Because in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, it talks about choose good or bad. I said before you good or bad, life and death, man. Yeah, that's a choosing light or darkness, right? What does the so-called white man teach us? All the darkness, the epitome of darkness. Matter of fact, they call us black people. What does black go back to? Darkness, evil. If anybody is the black people, it's the so-called white man. That's right. If you think about it. Now, this is the land they occupy, and this is the land that they create doctrines and pass it on and push it upon our people. So this is what? The land of darkness. Go ahead.
A land of darkness, as darkness itself.
As what itself?
As darkness itself.
Go ahead.
And of the shadow of death, without any order.
Without any what?
Without any order.
This land is not about order, bro, of any kind. If you want to make the woman equal to you, that's not order. Because matter of fact, they say that they want to say as a co-equal partnership, but for some reason, why is the woman always rule over the man? Let's talk about that real quick. Where's the order in the household, man? Where is that? Y'all talk about this as being a Bible. Y'all talk about Texas as a Bible belt, when this country was established on the Bible. Why does the woman have equality to the man? Matter of fact, why does the woman have more rights than the man, it seems like, bro? Bring it out. Let's talk about that. This land don't have no order in it, man. None. Go ahead.
And where the light is, as darkness.
What?
And where the light is, as darkness.
The light is as darkness, right? Because we tell our people, you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You're Israelites. They think that's evil, man. They say, no, we're Gentiles. No, we're Hamites. My pastor said the law is done away with. Y'all are evil. Y'all doing hate speech. Who is coming out the Bible? What actually is light, they think it's darkness. They think this is evil. Now we telling our people this, man. We need to come back to the Lord, bro. How much time do I got left? How much time I got? Three? Let me get Sirach. What you got? No, yeah, I'll get something finished. Give me Sirach chapter 32. Real fast. Yes, 32 and 24. Because our people don't believe in the Lord. That's why when we come out with the Bible, which is the light, which is the wisdom, because even the Hebrew word, when it goes into enlightening somebody, it's going into teaching somebody. And where do we get our teachings from? The Bible, the Torah, the instruction, the Torah, right? That's the instruction. That when we come out of that with our people, they think that's evil. They think that's just that's foolishness. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 16. Go ahead.
Sicarii 32 and 24. He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment.
That's what?
Taketh heed to the commandment.
So if you actually believe in the Lord and you take heed to the commandment, you keep the law, statutes, and commandments. As a matter of fact, that's the main thing God told us to do, is keep the commandments.
And he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse.
Now, when we look at the word trust, it goes back to what? It's a faith. It's a believing something. If you trust in the Lord, because even though I forgot the Hebrew word is that for the faith again. Was it Amon? It's Amon, I believe, right? It doesn't matter. If you look at that, it goes into trust or allegiance to, right? If you actually trust in the Lord, you have faith in Him. If you have faith in Him, you do what? You keep His commandments. That's why that's a perfect precept for James chapter 2. Where it says faith without works is dead. It's dead. It's worthless. Whatever our people do in a Christian church is worthlessness. It's high-level shuck and jivery. High-level shuck and jivery. 16, 1 Corinthians 1:16, where it says the preaching of Christ is preaching of God. 18, bro. So if anybody took heed to any of this, bro, you have if you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you have a chance for salvation, man. We have here preached the cross. We preach Yahweh's death that is for you, so you can come back to an actual Son of God, man. Because our people are old bottles. We need to get rid of that old bottle, and we can do that through Yahweh's death, and that's what we teach. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1 and verse 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish.
Read it slower. Read it slower.
For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish.
To them that perish, those are who are going to die. Go ahead.
Foolishness.
What we're up here doing with all our people in one accord right now, all of us up here doing, the people who hate this, They think this is foolishness. Those are the people who are going to die, right? That's the people who have no chance whatsoever. If you think this is foolishness, if you think this is, if you think this is foolishness, you're going to die. You're going to perish. But what?
But unto us which are saved, it is the power of Yahweh.
This is the power of Yahweh. Coming back to this word, come back to Yahweh Shai, come back to Yahweh, coming back to your nationality, the law, statutes, and commandments, gathering back to your people is the power of God. Because we can do this under any other circumstance. We can do this under MLK, we can do this under Malcolm X, we can do this under Black Panthers, but Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is the people who are going to gather us, man. That's the only power that's going to gather us and bring us out of this place. Right. This is the power of God, man. And with that, I'm going to say, call all Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and say Shalom.
Sicarii.
We are the children of the one Yahweh.
The chosen.
Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given his laws to us. Now everything belongs to us.
Shalom, what's going on? It's your brother Chief Priest Alazar Lawyer, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew, and I'm just letting y'all know I just dropped my official clothing line, Urban Guerrilla. Go to urbangorilla.com right now to check us out, man, and pick something up. There's urbngrla.com. We got all kind of items for men, women, children, even infants, as well as fragrance oil, smell goods. You can also check out Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co., another Sicarii business, on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, you can hit up deaconsicarii.com to get your plug on the scarves, the music, and the children's Bibles. Thanks for your time. All praise to the Most High. Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.